Welcome to the Saturday morning doubleheader, and a big thank you to the community. This question came in live this morning. This question came in a second. Turn that off. Audio is working good. For 514mtl.eth said, can you do a deep dive on exactly what went on with the Solana outage? So here I am giving you my perspective. And again, this channel is just about numbers and data, nothing else. So I'm going to just jump in. And of course, edutainment. And the story, well, I share data openly and transparently. I share all the research I find, dig up models, and all of my decisions, what I invest in, openly and transparently. But you are armed with this to make your own decisions. And because I was the first person to talk about Solana in early 2021 on YouTube, and I was new to YouTube as well, I was looking for my ETH killer, and this was it. Sometimes people refer to me as the Solana Helpdesk, and I'm not. But again, everybody, do your own research. And this is kind of funny. This little image I thought was kind of appropriate. I've always wanted to use it. It's like if you tried turning it off and turning it back on again, which normally fixes most things, which did in this case. But I'm going to dig into what exactly went down, and let's just jump in. So first of all, the rags come out and the knives come out on places like Twitter, and all the people who are overjoyed with this outage. It's kind of funny. You just have to laugh. The hate is unreal. But even this reporter, Crypto Potato, Sol dropped 6% as Solana suffered another network outage. Well, half right. And humans love to see car crashes. All the tribes are out on Twitter. Again, it's no skin off my butt. I don't care what people invest in. I just share what I do. So let's look at this. Let's debunk this article. 6% after the outage. No. Solana had actually fallen before the outage or the congestion even happened. Okay. And if you look at this chart here, you can see it fell in unison with the market. And the outage happened at 22:41 UTC right after the outage. And in fact, if you look at the line of the price is unimpacted by this outage at all. Nobody cares. Same thing happened before. And yes, I'll talk about the history of outages. If you look here, this is the correlation between Bitcoin and Solana. If you look at the Ethereum one, it's even more correlated, but you can see Solana fell when Bitcoin fell. Bitcoin is orange in here, and actually Solana was in this very nice ascending channel. It's just right beneath that right now, but that's what happened. Again, don't believe what's published. Solana falls 6% after outage. No, it had fallen before, but it goes up 6% in a few hours and it falls down 6%. It's a highly volatile asset. That's why we love it for scalping. So let's dig into exactly what went on. This is from Lane Stakovitz, and Anatoly was retweeting Lane. I don't know if it's a man or a woman or a company or whatever. But the tweet reads, at the same time, most operators weren't seeking... Well, we don't have to talk about that. But the problem was one validator had issued... There was some edge case situation. Piece of code, one block, created a duplicate instance. Basically created another fork, a new hard fork of Solana. However, this fork, in relation to being a duplicate block, sometimes the code detects things, mishandled stuff, and it was a very, very obscure instance in this code path for this validator, and they were unable to switch back to the main fork, and therefore the process was stuck. Again, a very unusual edge case, a little piece of a bug. We don't know yet if it was malicious. Probably not. Sounds like it's just a very small bug. But one of the other issues is Solana is increasing validators. It's adding one new validator, or about 2.58 new validators a day over the last year and a half. And they're growing very fast, nearly 2,000 validators. And they have a very high Nakamoto efficiency. This is probably the downside. Sometimes validators maybe aren't up to speed with the process of updating code and everything else. I'm not sure, just guessing here. But anyway, it was a very edge case bug, a very, very rare scenario. But let's talk about the history of outages to put things in perspective. Now, the other thing that rags always say is they say hundreds and hundreds of outages. Even very good YouTubers get this wrong. but there's a difference that I'll talk about in a minute. But these are the actual outages to date. You've been 5. 4 happened in 2022. So 2022 has not been a good year, but it's also been a bonkers busy year for the network. It's been congested by NFT mints. It's been throttled down by scammers trying to, get what they can from the network, etc. And yes, to be very clear, by the way, I just want to say this. Outages are not acceptable. No ifs, ands, or buts. Okay? Very clear. I'm not condoning it. I'm just sharing the history. But a couple of tiny sliver of positivity can be found from this is the trackers that I track, the dates, and the duration in minutes of each outage. So if we go back to 2020, none on record. 2021, we had one on the 7th of September, 2021. It was down for exactly 1,040 minutes. 2022, we had one on the 6th of January, 1st of May, 1st of June, and yesterday. But look at the time, and I put the little red arrow signifying the outage over the curve, but each time they're getting quicker at resetting. It's not an excuse. There should be no outages, but the most recent one was down to 2 hours and 45 minutes, which is a fraction of the time of the previous one. So that's one positive. Also, for those that say it's down all the time, no, there's a difference between, sometimes people get confused between outages and congestion. So sometimes there is degraded performance from a lot of traffic on the network. That happened in April 2022, April 28th, I should say. And again, it's a busy chain, but let's talk a bit more about what really matters. First, if you look at the share of Solana NFT volume, it has gone from 7% of all NFT volume on all blockchains to 24% in just 6 weeks. That is a meteoric rise. And again, you can see they're pulling a lot of market share from Ethereum. Good, bad, or different. I own both, Solana and Ethereum. Second of all, again, transactions. Look at this. This is from Magic Eden, and they just want to remind everybody that this blockchain has done over 100 billion transactions. And yes, at that breakneck speed, you might break a few necks. That's just the nature of the beast. But it processes far more than all other chains combined. In addition, it has more daily active users in some times than Ethereum, which has been around for 9 years or so. So again, perspective. The question is, where do you want to go? Now, final note. The team behind Solana, they have 71 employees. It's not a big operation, but it's not just another chain. They want to push the chain and blockchain to the limits. They have a very clear vision. This, by the way, is Anatoly Yakovenko on the left and Raj Gokal on the right. Their goal is to bring 1 billion people onto blockchain. And yes, it's only achievable by testing limits. And these guys have the credential to pull it off, especially Anatoly. Comes from Qualcomm. He knows all about network management and scaling. And yes, in addition as well, by the way, Web 2 had lots of crashes. It's normal. It's part of development when you push the limits of anything. I always use the Formula One analogy. The cars that are the fastest sometimes have the engines that blow up the quickest, as is Ferrari this season. And Formula One, for those Formula One fans out there, and no spoiler alerts, I have not seen the races in quite some time. I have them recorded, and whenever I have free time, which is never, I watch the races. But again, think about the chain, think about the scale. Yes, the code needs improvement. Yes, stability is key. It's still in beta. It's still a very young chain, and the adoption is way beyond my wildest dreams as of March 2021. Did I think that'd be eating Ethereum's lunch at this rate? Nope. That's it. So with that, everybody, please do your own research. Invest in whatever you want. I don't care. I just want people to have, not invest in really, really, really bad projects. Not saying this one is good or bad, but there are some of the highlights. So with that, everybody, happy Saturday again. Sorry for the double bill, but the community want to know what's going on with Solana. Yes, it's not good. Hopefully, one last thought just occurred to me. They have fixed the ability to stop spam bots from taking down the chain as well, which is good. I forgot to mention that, just occurred to me right now. But hopefully they'll fix this edge case and prevent it from ever happening again. It doesn't sound like a big deal. Again, it's a young chain. They're learning as they go. And it is operating at breakneck speed, which can cause problems. So with that, everybody, happy weekend. See you tomorrow for live Q&A. Thanks all. And thanks to the mods in the chat. Love you all.